Boom, pow, 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 boom, boom, boom. It goes a little something like this, guys. It goes like this. Oh, I feel like I can be myself with you. There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do. It takes me over. Oh, won't you come closer? Your head on my shoulder. Can't lose my composure. Not gonna lie. Shorty, don't you know that you're the reason why? When you get up in the morning. It's your boy Perfection back again with another freaking video, man. Don't try to be right, strive to be righteous. Now this video is about yesterday. I was with one of my my dad basically, which actually ties into this video because my dad had quite a few kids. Okay, quite a few kids, and it's a long story, really. It's a long story. How he was even able to have that many kids was actually quite shocking because he suffered from schizophrenia. So how he was able to even chirp scales, as we say here in the UK, how he was able to run game on women was shocking. You know, do you want me to be honest with you? The women that he was with deserved everything coming to them. I'll be honest, even my own mum, if you want me to be straight out, to be honest with you. Because I think that some women make the wrong choices, you know, and they deserve whatever's coming to them. Let me just put that out there straight. They deserve whatever they get. Straight talk. No games. But getting back on track. Okay, let me turn this down, guys. Right. However, my dad had many kids. I don't really see them all the time. One of them I haven't seen in a long while. I got to spend some time with yesterday. She's my sister. She comes round, sitting back chilling with her. She mentioned something about, well, I said to her, you know, how come you don't find a man or this or that? And, you know, subject comes up about different guys she's dated. She's dated, you know, Chinese and white and this and that. And subject to black men come up. You know, what about black men? What about, you know, black men from this country? Not this country here, but the UK, Britain. What about black men from Britain? What about that? You know, since, you know, you being black as, you know, you being black yourself and all that, you know, how do you find that black men from black British men? And she said, well, you know, I find them to be kind of quite immature. Okay, alright, I can be immature myself. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, fair enough, quite mature. She said they don't really have much drive. Okay, in compared to other men that come over from European countries. Now that does kind of make a little bit more sense, I suppose, because people that come over from European countries might be earning, let's say that they're earning £2 an hour in their countries. They come over to the UK and they're offered £5.50 an hour. But your average person in the UK is earning £10 an hour. They're going to be quite comfortable with the £5.50 an hour. Whereas someone born here, black and British, may say, £5.50 an hour, I think I'll pass on that one. I think I'll pass on that one, to be honest with you, because you know, my mate Eric, mate, that I grew up with, he's earning now. How much you earning, Eric? What, mate? I'm on. I wouldn't get out of bed for £15 an hour, mate. Oh, he's on £15 an hour, so I think I'll pass on the old £5.50 an hour. So when it comes to these Europeans, they most likely will be kind of hard. They will come across as hard workers, more drive, more motivation, and things like that. Because they've come over from a country where they didn't have the luxury that we have here in the UK. Luxury as in materialistic things, really, that we have here in the UK. Life is quite boring, quite plain and quite simple. And they didn't have half of the things that we take for granted here, you know. And they didn't have the range, the option. Like you didn't go into their, well, you probably did go into their supermarket and see the kind of range of food. Although saying that, it's not every country that does have that range, because I have been that Jamaica didn't have a full range like what we have here in the UK. But it's understandable how they come over from this country and they have a little bit more drive. So that answers the question on the whole drive thing anyway. So what else I said to her? So she said to me she doesn't find them to be faithful, and that's something that led me to this video here. You didn't find them to be faithful, and I'm thinking, you know, in her eyes, basically overall, they almost came last. Now, generally, when most black women talk that way, I don't really hear them. It just goes in one ear and out the other, really. I don't even take them seriously, if you want me to be truthfully honest with you. The reason why is I was actually going to sing you a song, guys, if I can remember it. Oh, damn, let me see if I can remember the song, and that will explain it. Yes, here we go. It goes a little something like this. Oh no, okay. In this city, so what was it? I changed the lyrics to the song. Okay, it goes a little something like this. Right, no, before I get into the song, before I get into it, I have to explain that the reason why I don't listen to some of these black women is because these black women are basically sellouts. That's the best way of putting it to you, you know. And they're willing to sell their bodies or whatever it is, or their pride and everything else over money. Basically, it's as simple as that. That's the kind of history of the black women here in the UK. And those things come first. And I can understand that. Look, no one wants to, and I want people to understand this, like, even from my sister's point of view, no one, I wouldn't want my sister settling down with someone that didn't have any drive, you know, that just sat down and no ass complaining all the time and didn't do anything. I wouldn't want her sitting down with something like that. But as long as I could see that her boyfriend was trying, if he was out there trying, because that's all I've ever asked of men, is that all we can do is try. We can't do anything more than that, because if we do things more than that, we end up kind of selling ourselves out, you know. So I understand where these women are coming from, but I've met some women, especially black women in this country, and I talked about it in my MGTOW video, that they're just complete, major, utter, total sellouts, basically. And that's where this song comes into it. It goes a little something like this. The sellout's gonna break my heart. The sellout's gonna love me and leave me to die. The sellout's gonna break my heart. The sellout's gonna love me and leave me to die. That's Simon Fisher, This City. I think you guys have heard of it. Anyway, so getting back, I've met some black women that are complete sellouts. So when they talk to me, it literally goes in one ear and out the other, because it's not a case of them looking for champions or hard men. It's not about that. It's more of a materialistic thing, because they can see a guy trying right in front of them. They can see him going through all of this kind of heartache. But they're not clicking on. They're not clicking on and realizing that you're more controllable than the black man, so you're more horrible. Okay, you're more subservient, and I've seen it in jobs. I've seen black women in jobs where when it comes to standing up for themselves, or when it comes to being dominant, I wouldn't say dominant, but when it comes to kind of standing tall and saying what's right, or defending themselves, when it comes to those things, they're not willing to do it when it comes to authority from, say, Caucasian people. Okay, they're likely to stay quiet. Yet if their boss happened to be maybe a black male, their attitude is slightly different. So they've become a little bit more broken in a sense, you know, and I have a problem with that big time. You know, they're likely to take a lot more they're likely to take a joke from they'll take a racist joke from a Caucasian male better than they would take a normal joke from a black male. Okay, almost like whistling. Imagine their boss whistled at them, they would smile But yet when a black male whistles at them, they're, it's that kind of mentality. And a lot of them, again, I always preach to people about self-awareness. A lot of these black women, because they don't have that self-awareness, they're not aware that they're doing these things. They're not aware that the whole system, the whole kind of matrix, they're not aware of the blue pill, the female blue pill that they're taking. And because of that, when most normal black women talk, I just don't listen to it. And from my own experiences, like I said, I've seen those things happen. And I've seen women where it's more than just a strong black male. It's more about this, the whole strong black man is a front. It's not about that. What they're really talking about is money. If you're willing to sell yourself out more, then if you're willing to bend over backwards and provide them with big amount of money, then they'll take you over someone that's striving hard out there to get somewhere, but failing because the system's holding them back. They'll take the kind of, and that's why a lot of them may be attracted to things like drug dealers, con artists, and all those kind of people, and you'll find that even with like con artist type men, these men aren't really realists. They're more fantasists. So women kind of they would rather hide in kind of this fake reality than be confronted with real kind of real brothers. Really, it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? And this is why when most black women kind of tell me, listen, Luke, I struggle to find a black man and everything else. And that's another thing I want to say, is that to all of my black brothers that have made it this far in the video, if you're watching this, I want you to leave a comment underneath if you're decent. Because one thing my sister said is that, black British men aren't faithful. I've always been, I couldn't find a decent woman for the last 20-something years. So from where I'm coming from, I couldn't even find a woman, let alone me cheat on her with multiple people. But she said they're not faithful, and that was another thing that kind of bothered me. And then I sat back and I said, I can understand that maybe some of them aren't faithful. Maybe black men are conditioned to take good women for granted, and again, self-awareness is something that they should look at and ask themselves, why are you doing that? Why is it that when people spit in your face, you smile, you wipe it off your face and you smile? And you're kind of like that. But yet when people are kind of helping you up off of your feet and they're helping you across the road, you're slowly sliding your hand in their pocket as they're helping you across the road and taking their wallet out, and just and then you get to the other side and you say thank you for helping me and this and that, and you've stolen from them. That's the kind of obviously I don't literally mean that. I mean that you know what I mean, the word I would use. What annoys me is that I watch my videos sometimes and I'm fishing for words as I'm doing these videos, and then after I watch them back I say, oh, this is what I meant. So I don't mean literally steal from women, because we're not thieves, but I mean in a what's the word that I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about anyway. I'll watch this back and it will come to me instantly. But yeah, I don't mean literally. I mean that sometimes black men, when they find decent women, for some reason they just want to see how far they can push it. Like, how much liberties can I take with this woman? But yet for the last 20 years you've been struggling to find a woman. Now you find one and you're taking the mick. Like, what's going on? But getting back to the whole thing, my sister is someone that I genuinely looked inside of her eyes, and when she said it to me, I genuinely took it not personally, but I genuinely believed her, because obviously I can only talk about life from my point of view and how my experiences I've had with women, and how I've been treated and how I see things. But and myself as a man, my values, my principles, my morals. But what are your average British black men like? Again, guys, if you are a decent guy, the British black guy, okay, because this is going out to you specifically, because we're the ones being targeted here by the media and everything else. We're the ones, British black guys, that are made to be wockless and not strong enough. They don't have a backbone and weak and all of that. I think that's another thing she said as well, is that she goes, they're just not, over here they're weak and they're shy and all that kind of stuff. And in America, when she went to America, they were a lot more confident in themselves and a lot more kind of, you know, stronger and this and that. So if you are a decent, you know, black British male, please leave a comment and say, look, I'm a real one, you know, just to say, so that some black women that come onto this page in the future can see that you're a real one. You don't know about the rest of them, but you don't cheat on women. You're just looking for someone decent to settle down with, you know. But I'm going to get into, in part 2 of this video, I want to talk about what is a decent black man. You know, what is a decent black British man. Okay, what are those? What are they? What should a woman be looking for? Okay, because if a woman doesn't even know what a decent British black man is, then what's the point in you know, even looking, really? She doesn't know. It's like a needle in a haystack. She doesn't. So I'm going to describe what one is, and then women of this country or women that have come over from other countries will know what to look out for, okay, when on the hunt. Right, I'll see you in part 2. Peace.